Now we're going to create a tile object. This tile object will contain all the information we need to update our views properly to display all of our information. So this object is going to package all of this information in one spot. Let's go ahead and make this happen. We're going to create a new file, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new group to house all of my, as we call them, model files. We'll see how that works in just a minute. So we're going to go to File, New. We can go to Group, and we're going to call this Model. And the reason we're going to call this Model is our tile object is going to be a model that we're going to be able to create multiple tile objects from. The great thing about adding groups is it's going to allow us to organize our files in one spot. So we'll see what kind of model objects we wind up putting here in the long run, and I think this grouping will make more sense as we continue to add them. We'll be able to kind of get what the common denominator is. So we're going to go ahead and create a new file, and we're going to make this an Objective-C subclass. We're going to go to iOS, Cocoa Touch, Objective-C class, and we can press Next, and we're going to make it a subclass of NSObject, and we're going to call it CC-Tile. And I can go ahead and press Next, and I'm going to make sure I have my target selected here. I'm going to press Create, and now I have a tile file. And our tile file is going to work very similarly to what we did with mbfdog in that we're going to be able to create a bunch of tile objects from this class, and they're going to have the properties we declare in the header file. So I'm going to go back to single view here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding some properties into my header file here. So the first property I'm going to go ahead and write is I'm going to write at property strong, non-atomic, and a string. And we're going to call this story. And what this property is going to hold is the information we're going to be able to use to update the story label on our storyboard. The next property I'm going to go ahead and add is, and again, at property strong, non-atomic, which is a hint to you that this is going to be an object. We're going to make a UI image, and we're going to say background image. So each tile is going to have its own background image associated with the object, assuming we set it, and we're going to be able to update the storyboard's background each time we go to a new tile. Next, we're going to add another property. We're going to say add property strong, non-atomic. So again, when you see me adding strong, we know that it has to be an object, and I'm going to do and a string, and we're going to say button name. So this is going to allow us, or even better, let's call this action button name. And what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to update our action button's title, and that will be different each time we go to a different view. For now, we're going to make these very generic. Later on, as we start to develop our application a little bit more, we'll start setting these titles and strings, such as story and action button name, to be a little bit more explicit and to start telling our application story. But for now, we're simply going to use these as placeholders so that we can get our navigation working properly.